on Aussie Truck Rehab.
Oh, this is far from show ready.
The problem is if that's gone through the whole fuel system, it's gone through everything.
Yeah.
A lifelong dream truck.
For the last 23 years, I've been on the pursuit to find an original Magnum.
Could become a rehab nightmare.
If we stuff this, we're repainting the whole truck again. I don't even want to think about the cost involved with that.
While Jon springs an unwelcome surprise.
I'll come in on a Monday morning, invoice in my email for 630 grand for 2 trucks.
With a high-stakes makeover.
What? Why are we painting them? They're pretty much brand new.
You would never not wash a truck, so why would we never not paint a truck?
Here we go.
And on a search for precious barn finds,
These trucks are awesome. They're exactly what Jon is after.
bush trucker Jess Edwards faces a battle to buy low.
Don't you leave there unless we do a deal.
I want $100,000.
I'm Jon Kelly, and my entire world is trucks. It's got plenty of horsepower.
We're experts at restoring trucks.
That's just how I roll.
We buy,
I want $100,000.
refurb,
Cheap hobby, this trucking.
and flip for profit.
Sold, sold, sold. And I'm yet to find a bucket of bolts in a paddock that we can't turn into treasure.
In this game, no 2 days and no 2 trucks are ever the same. We don't get too many small jobs here.
It's got an air leak. Should have been fixed first thing.
We're all trucking mad.
Was just get it done, and no, it's not an option.
It's good to finally be on the road.
We're building the best truck rehab business in the world.
Whatever the cost.
Hey, thought you'd be back by now.
Yeah, so did I.
Me, King, Dave, we're waiting for you.
Almost back at Archfield now.
We'll see you very soon.
Right, coming in hot.
Coming in hot.
At the workshop of truck restoration specialists Heavy Haulage Assets, a long-awaited VIP arrival is imminent.
For the last 23 years, I've been on the pursuit to find an original Magnum. These trucks were the king of the road. And then I stumbled across this yellow Mac that was advertised in Riverside, California, on a Facebook ad, believe it or not. 3 weeks later, Dave and I jump on a plane with $55,000 cash. 2 hours later, I own the truck. In 1985, 1986, Mac bought out these limited edition Mac Magnums. There was only 180 of them made.
Powered by a V8 16.4 litre, 750 horsepower engine, the Mac Magnum is a monument to a golden age of American trucking.
It's like buying a golf cart that's been owned by Greg Norman. We spent 7 days non-stop in this truck, drove it from one end of America to the other.
Having made the 16,000 kilometre trip from the US, the plan was to drive the Magnum from Brisbane docks and begin restoration work.
Jon's been after a Magnum for years. You know, rarest rock in all in Australia. I think there's only one other one here.
But will Jon's dream purchase live up to the hype?
Shame! All I'm seeing is a lot of work. I'm seeing a lot of work and a lot of late nights.
Have a look at this coming out of the tank.
Oh, this is far from show ready. Oh, all the big build-up for this truck, for Jon to be driving it in the gate, and it's on the hook. What's that? Is that diesel?
Yeah, it is, Steve.
Oh, crap! Oh, look, we've got a diesel leak here.
It's not how dream trucks is supposed to turn up.
The plan for the Magnum was to return it to its original 1980s look by repainting it, adding custom detailing, new chrome work, a brand new interior, and a mechanical overhaul. The result, an historic statement rig worth $500,000.
But when you work out it's come nearly 25,000 kilometres to get here. So
Just couldn't make the last 20. So what was it actually doing?
it'd run for like 3 or 4 seconds,
Yeah.
little bit of smoke, then nothing. Then I'd prime it, and even priming it, it did nothing.
Yeah.
So it's like it's struggling to pick up fuel.
Yep.
It's just not firing.
But a serious engine problem could leave the rehab budget in ruins before restoration has even begun.
I was really excited. We've waited a long time for this truck. Yeah, they're very deflating, but it is what it is.
I'm just hoping it's a quick, cheap, easy fix. That's all you can hope for.
I'll come in on a Monday morning, invoice in my email for 630 grand for 2 trucks. Don't know anything about it.
In the yard's front office, finance manager Dave Patullo is dealing with another unwelcome find.
So yeah, like most people, I don't like surprises. I like to know what's going on in my life, especially when it's a surprise that's over $500,000.
So I just bought 2 near brand new Kenworth K200s and haven't told Dave yet. Hey Dave,
Hey mate,
what's cracking?
just got an invoice here.
For a couple of K200s?
Yeah, like that's a
they're-
lot of coin.
Well, you know, they're only 2-year-old, those trucks.
Like we kind of need to flip them quick.
These trucks will come in and out. I'm going to spend 15 to 20 on them by the time I paint them and do mechanical.
What? Why are we painting them? They're pretty much brand new.
I don't think the green's enticing to sell.
Here we go.
Dave asks some pretty pointy questions sometimes, and he's asking me, like, why do we need to paint these trucks?
A lot of people like green. I like green.
It's about making that truck desirable that my phone just rings off the hook.
All I can do now is try and limit the costs that we have on these trucks. I mean, they're brand new trucks, so the margins are already pretty tight.
The 2020 Kenworth K200s have a modern cab-over design, built to be versatile everyday workhorses at home on city streets or open highways.
So we bought these trucks at $630,000 for the pair. We're going to spend $30,000 on paint and most likely like $10,000 on detailing and getting them ready for sale and delivery. We're painting these trucks. John's got his way.
These trucks are actually better than I thought. Sort of paid a bit too much money for these trucks on what I wanted to get them for. But the market today is you order a brand new Kenworth, you don't get it for 18 months. So the value in these trucks is that they're here, and in a couple of weeks they'll be ready to go.
With nearly $750,000 riding on his plan, John's brought the K200s to a specialist paint shop. First, the cabs are stripped and sanded before being painted. It's the point of no return for their $40,000 makeover.
Like, you would never not wash a truck, so why would we never not paint a truck and prepare it in its best possible light? This is a sister truck to the one that's in the booth, so we're doing this one blue with a dark blue pin line.
After 4 days in the paint booth, the first results are in.
It's good to see a plan come together. We've got, you know, this first K200 nearly ready in its new colours, and then the second one nearly ready to go in the booth. So it's a really nice contrast to see a before and then an after. This is the difference in dynamic between selling a truck that's average and then selling a truck that's beautiful.
Do we really know if they're going to like this paint job, or are they going to come in and go, we need it changed?
I'm just in the Darling Downs at the moment. There's a lot of transport in the area, so it's a bit of a hot spot for trucks, really.
Station hand Jess Edwards is an expert horsewoman and road train driver. The Outback veteran also has a skill for sniffing out old trucks in remote locations.
There's so many ways you can buy a truck. You know, some of these trucks are sitting in barns or sitting in towns that we don't even know are there. So I've got to rely on trained professionals to be my ears on the ground, and that's where Jess comes into things.
When you're out in remote areas, if something's too old to keep running, it just gets parked up in a shed and forgotten about. To them, it's a pain in the ass, but to John, it's a pot of gold.
Jake, pleased to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you. After some old trucks, I don't care what condition they're in, just old bangers, 80s, 90s. The benefits for me is money. I get paid by John.
She's a really experienced operator, had a lot to do with her over the last few years. And the good thing about Jess is I can send her out in the wilderness, she can find a truck for me. Send me the invoice, I pay for it, and she can drive it back home. And if there's an issue, she can fix it.
Do know a bloke, he's got a couple of Western Stars and a few little hidden gems there, so if you go down and see him, he goes by the name of Bill Basket.
Got a few horses here, horses and horsepower. It's my kind of place.
Located 50 kilometres north of Toowoomba in rural Queensland, 80-year-old Bill Basket has been restoring trucks for over 50 years.
Knock, knock.
G'day.
Hey, Bill?
Yeah.
Bill? Yeah, Jess. I was yarning to the boys down at
Oh, good.
Pengelly and they sent me this way.
All righto.
Have a chat to you about your old trucks.
A few of them here, yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
I rebuild old trucks. The first truck I bought in 1966. I've been collecting old trucks for a while now. Since I sold all the good ones, the working ones.
What, these ones don't work?
Not anymore. Well, I've been thinking about doing them up, but I'm a bit reluctant now. My shoulders have been crook and my hands crook. Decent old trucks are a bit hard to find.
This vintage Western Star 4900 and White Road Boss are classic outback rigs, built to survive the toughest conditions on Earth and beloved by those who depend on them.
What about these two? Would you be willing to part with these two?
Oh, it took me a fair while to get them, Jess. I'm sort of not really in the truck selling business. Used to be, but I haven't been for a long time. But all things are possible, I guess.
Finding out who has these old trucks is one part of the puzzle. The hard bit is actually convincing them to sell it to me. These trucks are awesome. They're exactly what Jon is after. Unfortunately, I think it's going to be a bit of a hard buy.
So it's like it's almost got air in the system, or it's the pump's not picking it up, or... Oh. It smells like thinners.
At Heavy Haulage Assets Restoration Workshop, an iconic 1980s Magnum is dead on arrival after its 16,000 kilometre journey from the US.
Probably that cold weather fuel from the States.
Or like
It's probably gone off.
like a winter fuel.
Yeah.
In the Northern Hemisphere, it's common for diesel to contain perishable additives that fight cold weather conditions.
The problem is if that's gone through the whole fuel system,
Yeah.
it's gone through everything.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking, you know, not just filters, it'll be in the pump. We're probably going to have to overhaul the whole fuel system. Tanks, lines. I think this is going to be a bit costly. I'm a little concerned at the moment because the whole fuel system's going to be absolutely stuffed.
To solve the problem, Jon's called in V8 Max specialist Dean Conway.
Did you lads clean these fuel lines out or no?
Dean's just a top-notch mechanic, like next level, especially with these V8 Max, unbeatable. If he does a really good job and it comes in on budget, I might even buy him a new fox fur hat.
Having flushed the Magnum's fuel system,
She pumped some fuel, that girl, doesn't it? Look at her go.
Dean's rebuilt the truck's fuel pump and injector assembly.
The injectors have had a bit of magic done to them. This rack here was stuck. So basically I was only getting half the rack working, half the side, so you only sort of run on 4 cylinders. And that's why we couldn't get any fuel in it.
The pump is the heart of the Magnum's fuel system. Reinstalling it is a precision operation.
We're aiming for 18 degrees before top dead centre. If I don't get that hole in the middle, it just means I'll be either this many degrees before or this many degrees after it. We're going a bit further advanced to try and I'll mainly get a bit more smoke out of it because it's all about show. So sometimes it takes a couple of goes in and out to get it.
Basically just advancing the point of injection.
One of the challenges with this truck is there are some significant differences between the Australian V8 Mac and the American V8 Mac.
Well, there's no marks on the vibration hub at the front and there's no hole in the bottom of the flywheel housing for marks on the flywheel, so which is going to be a bit of a struggle.
As the painstaking repair drags into the night,
Oh, I've got to find the timing marks on it.
the Magnum's fate hangs in the balance.
There we go. Got him in, mate, got him in.
After 8 hours, the operation is complete.
All right, I'm going to start putting fuel through it.
So we'll get the young fella in there on the key. Fuel's done.
I've got no power. I reckon those batteries are... Oh, hang on. You ready?
Yeah, when you're ready.
Got these couple of Kenworths ready for photographs. They've come up really nice. Big difference to what they were.
After a week at the paint shop, the two Kenworth K200s have been detailed and serviced. They've taken their place on the firm's lot, ready for sale.
It's a big juggle running a truck sales yard. Like when you look around at how many trucks we've got in stock here, like we'd have probably 45 to 50 trucks here. Average truck is probably 250 to 300. So when you start multiplying that out, that's $10 to $13 million worth of stock.
Having spent $40,000 on their makeover, Jon's gambling that painted trucks will sell faster and for more profit.
Jon says that having cool-looking trucks brings customers in, but there's probably cheaper ways to bring customers in. The money-making process is the buying and selling.
The trucks cost $630,000, with paint and mechanical costs on top. To make a profit, Jon's hoping to sell the K200s for $710,000.
At that price, I haven't got a lot of wiggle room at all. I think we'll just stick them up at that and that's the deal.
The guys have done a great job on those two Kenworths. They look amazing. Let's just hope that someone else out there thinks the same thing.
We're live. Done. Ring you bastard.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the market looking for some older rigs.
At restorer Bill Baskett's workshop, Jess Edwards has tracked down two vintage trucks.
What are they?
Well, one's a Road Boss, late 70s, early 80s, with a winch on it and Detroit V8 engine, which is a bit unique these days.
Yeah, especially with fuel being so expensive.
And the other one here is a Caterpillar 3406B with it did have a Spicer gearbox, but now it's got a Road Ranger. It's got a fair bit of history, that truck. This one I used to run to Darwin.
What were you carting?
Beer and all the good things in life. Yeah.
To persuade Bill to part with the rigs, Jess must pit her wits against the National Road Transport Hall of Famer with over half a century of trucking know-how.
She's certainly interested in trucks, and obviously she knows what she's talking about. I haven't thought of selling, but I can soon think of a price, don't worry.
Bill is that typical tough customer. He knows what these trucks are worth. I don't think he's going to let these things go easy. I do know a bloke who would be very interested.
It took me a fair while to get hold of especially this one here. I don't have to sell them. I mean, they're paid for, they're not going to cost any more money. So it's like all things, if you can buy something for $1 and sell it for $2, well, you're going pretty well. I'd be reluctant to do any deals at this stage.
Is there any harm in me taking a few photos and sending them through and maybe seeing what he...
By all means, take as many photos as you want.
There is a lot of cosmetic kind of stuff. This one's already running. It might need, a bit of a rebuild. But all in all, at least you can take it to the workshop. That white one especially is in great condition. But this is the size truck that Jon really loves. I'm just sending these photos through to Jon now. I reckon he will froth that long bonnet Cheyenne. They're not very common, so here we go. Jon, how you doing?
What have you just sent me?
A couple of Western Stars I thought you might like. I'm at Bill Baskett's place.
Bill Baskett?
Yeah.
I know Bill Baskett real well. Are these in his shed?
Yeah.
Cheeky bastard's been holding out on me. I didn't even realise he had these. I've been chasing a Baskett truck for over 10 years,
So you're keen?
Oh, very, very keen, Jess. This is like finding a very rare gem on your front porch. I can't believe it was nearly under my nose all that time. Don't you leave there unless we do a deal.
How much were you kind of hoping to spend?
if I could get the pair, believe it or not, that sort of makes my whole collection whole. So you need to come home with both of those.
Give me a figure.
Well, I reckon the pair is probably worth 75 grand.
If I pull this off, you owe me, hey?
Yeah, listen, if you can pull this off, Jess, like all expenses paid trip to Hawaii, right?
Yeah, righto. All right, I'll see what I can do. Hey, Bill.
Yes.
This fella's pretty keen. Like 75 grand sort of keen.
Nah, I'm not selling it for 75. That's all right, thanks for the offer.
Did you have a figure in mind? What?
Well, certainly not 75,000.
Well, what were you thinking?
Well, I was thinking, I want 100.
100?
I want $100,000.
Hey, Dean.
Hey.
You got fuel?
Yeah, I'll just do all these lines up.
After 8 hours of painstaking work, an overhaul of the rare Magnum's fuel system is complete.
Righto, when you're ready again. Contact.
That works.
That's better.
All right, here's the moment of truth.
Hey, one more.
One more.
Beautiful.
Nothing like a 2 months delay just to get a truck to start off the key. And about $15,000 later. It's a cheap hobby, this trucking.
You haven't seen my bill yet.
12 hours later, the final invoices landed in Dollar Dave's inbox.
Hey mate, I just got the bill for the Magnum fuel pump and stuff. So the fuel bills come in at 20 grand, and that's not a number I'm comfortable with. Yeah, like what's left?
It's just basically the paint job in the interior.
When John's doing a full resto on a statement truck, he doesn't care about budgets. He only cares about what it looks like at the end. And that is a terrifying prospect for me. Can we put a limit on this one?
Like a rough budget?
Yeah, like rough budget.
I don't measure off a budget. I just get the job done. 85 to 100 grand all up.
All right, 80 grand.
85 to 100.
At 80 grand.
85 to 100. The biggest thing for this truck is the paint, and then once that's done, we're on the home stretch.
Looks good yellow. Done, 85 it is.
I said 85 to 100, Dave.
85.
How can you put a limit on that truck, Dave?
All right, 85. I'll put that in my diary.
Staying on budget is also critical, as the fully restored truck won't be for sale. Instead, the Magnum will be added to John's collection of elite restorations.
John will tell you all about how these trucks are good for marketing and they're good for our business, but every marketing budget has a limit.
Under severe financial pressure, the next stop is at the paint shop.
When this business stops making money, Dave can have that hard conversation with me about me spending too much money on my personal truck collection.
Good to go.
This is like the holy grail of trucking. Left-hand drive truck in a right-hand drive country. Very interesting. Oh, you should see the smoke coming out of this thing. This is a lot of fun. Give this a boot, we'll see how she goes. It's got plenty of horsepower. You can't help but look at it and smile. It's just a cool truck. We made it. The biggest problem we got with the Magnum is we're doing a major colour change. I'm not looking at enhancing the look in any way. It's all about replicating exactly how that brochure was in 1986 as I rolled off the factory floor. No, it looks in pretty good nick. How do you strip that? Just sand it. So just black, and then if you could just do under the hood black for me.
To stay on budget, Magnum's $35,000 paint job must be completed inside 5 days. But veteran painter Marty Penter has spotted something.
What's that? Paint's too thick, it's just bubbled up. Same there, is it? Must have been blue at one stage. You see there's blue there? There's all different colours everywhere, like look at the red up underneath there. Problem with this truck is I didn't realise that it's had 4 or 5 different paint jobs over the 30 years that it's been around. So the only way to sort of fix that is actually strip that paint back bare. Well, that's got to add another 2 weeks. People do buy trucks with their eyes, and nothing beats a brand new, crisp, clean paint job.
At the firm's workshop, Jon's $40,000 gamble to repaint the 2 Kenworth K200s has yet to pay off.
Jon Kelly.
Look, we're pretty keen.
But a call from a prospective buyer could be a game changer.
Yep.
Can we do 350, right?
Yep.
And we'll grab both. But the other thing is, if we can have them both painted, then we should have a deal.
Okay.
All right?
All right, we'll do that deal. Just come up, give me a hug. I'm gonna gonna get like literally death threats from my painter, but it'll be fine.
Yeah.
We'll work it out.
Yeah, that's right, mate.
So good news. Good news is they want the Kenworths. Bad news is I've got to paint both of them. So Dave, I've got a guy keen on those 2 2020 model Kenworths.
Oh, fantastic.
Believe it or not, they want us to paint them.
Yeah, so this is the problem with you painting trucks before we sell them, because we've just painted those 2.
But you need to understand that you need to paint them to get the phone to ring. So the phone wouldn't have rang if they were green. And I've just got 20 or 30 grand more than what they're probably worth based on the way they look.
Repainting these trucks is just going to eat into profit. And the only person that's going to make money here is Marty the painter.
Actually, just push into that, shorty. Just keep coming in. Keep coming.
To speed up a 2-week paint job that could double its $35,000 budget, Jon has called in Marshall and detailer Sean Cameron to disassemble the Magnum.
Okay, hold it there. We've got to strip all the exhaust system off. I've got to pull the doors apart. We've got to have everything off. We don't want anything after the paint job to still be yellow. It's got to be all black. So, fun. Let's do it. I'm pumped. Well, Marty has got a few concerns, rightly so. Look, there's about 10 million layers of paint on this thing. We've come down to start stripping it for them. So then all they've got to do is paint. There'll be no excuses then. Cut the red wire, Marshall. I'm a bit nervous. Is it the red wire? Wow!
Once the truck has been dismantled and sanded,
The boys ready to go?
Yeah, mate, they're spraying now.
the next phase is to spray paint each of the frame's 30 components by hand in a specialised paint booth.
So I'm very mindful about cost on this truck. You know, we are doing a complete colour change.
The meticulous process involves applying base and clear coats of paint before sanding down and applying more clear coats.
Should have a good bit of depth. Worst case scenario, we can just give it a buff.
But to save time and stay under budget, Jon's decided to take a huge risk.
The plan was base coat down, 2 coats of clear, leave it set, come back Monday, sand it, 2 coats of clear, finished. I'm going to try and be a bit cheeky and put a really nice base coat on and do 3 coats of clear, and hopefully that's a good enough finish where we don't have to re-clear it Monday. What do you reckon about doing 3 coats of clear today? Like, the last thing I want to do is have those rivets run, you know?
Yeah, you'd be 2 days ahead of time.
I reckon it's going to save us 4 days, Marty.
Yeah, that's what we want.
If we stuff this, we're repainting the whole truck again. And I don't even want to think about the cost involved with that.
The first layer to be applied is the black mica base coat that gave the 1986 Magnum its signature look.
This is such an iconic truck. It's a limited edition. It's one of only 2 in this country. and it would be the most original surviving Magnum in the world. The minute that black started going on, I knew it was the right choice.
Next are the 3 clear coats that will be sprayed one after another.
The boys have just started laying down the 3rd clear coat. You've got a base coat which has got all of your tints and all your colours in it. The clear goes over the top, and it's like a pane of glass that seals off that paint. It protects it for years to come, and it also brings the colours out. This will make or break us.
No. Thanks for the offer.
In rural Queensland, Jess needs to close a deal to buy 2 rare barn finds from trucking legend Bill Baskett.
Did you have a figure in mind? What?
Well, certainly not 75,000.
Country people are tough negotiators. They know what they've got. And when they know that you want it, it's not going to be easy getting it.
No, I'm not interested in for that sort of money.
Well, what were you thinking?
Well, I was thinking, I want 100.
100?
I want $100,000. And
For both, there's so much work left in them.
I agree with you. There's a lot of work to be done to them. You have to do better. It's not Christmas yet, you know. Good trucks like that, they're very hard to find.
They are. Can we do any better than that? Say 85? Is that getting a bit closer?
90, definitely no lower than 90.
All right. I might just go make a quick phone call.
Yeah.
When Jon wants a truck, he's not stupid. He's not going to pay ridiculous amounts for it. But that puts me in between a rock and a hard place, you know? He wants these trucks, but he wants it at a certain price, and I've got to make that happen.
Hey, Jess.
Hey, mate, he's just offered 90 for the 2. Is that something you'd be happy with?
Get it done. Give me an hour and a half to 2 hours and I'll go get a bank check and I'll come straight up.
Yeah, righto. Good news, he's happy with 90. Done deal?
Yeah?
Yeah. You shook on it now. You're stuck. Well, how about we give these a bit of a start, see if we can get them running?
One there's a bit of a problem, I think, but we'll endeavour. This one hasn't been going for a long time, Jess.
Yeah? It's been sitting here.
Yeah, well, actually, it was put in here with a tow truck.
Just paid 90 grand for it. I wanted to go.
No, he only paid 10 for this one and 80 for the other one.
Oh, bargain. Can't complain about that.
Oh, yeah.
Yes! The fact that it starts, it's already worth more. That's awesome.
Probably worth more money, you know.
We're already shook on it, mate.
Oh.
2 hours later, Jon arrives with his sons to collect the trucks.
Yeah, Jess, I'll be sorry to see them go.
Well, they're going to a good home.
How you going, Bill?
G'day, Jon. How are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
Good.
I think the most important thing I've got to do is take this road boss for a spin. We'll give it a crack, eh?
Give it a crack.
Oh, it's a beautiful old truck, like immaculate inside for its age. Bit of rust around the edges and that, but you can't buy history like this.
That moment when you shake that seller's hand and you know that you have made a deal for a good price for a sick truck, that's money in the bank right there.
This is hope and pray.
At Marty Penter's workshop, Jon's about to find out whether he's saved a fortune or potentially ruined the historic $500,000 Mack Magnum.
We might have dodged a bullet here, which would be awesome, because we've just, we've done the 3 coats clear on the bottom of the sleeper. It's come out sensational. Dollar Dave and I have had a very clear discussion about where the expected budget is for this truck, and so far, I'm lining up pretty good with how this truck has worked out in terms of the paint saving and the time saving.
Meanwhile, Jon and crew chief Dave Pansino are heading to collect the newly painted truck.
That's about the best I'm going to get it there.
In all, the plan has saved 4 days of extra work, costing tens of thousands of dollars.
Pretty good finish. from a Mac fan point of view, this is like top of the tree. And that's why paying tribute to its heritage and its past is so important.
You want to get the truck out?
Yeah. This is the deluxe edition. It's got the milk crate with the rag on top.
Magnum's final assembly will happen back at the yard.
Bit smoky.
It's vital it arrives unscathed, in showroom condition.
Can you watch the tanks? Because they're going to be close. If you just stand over there, people think that putting the truck together is the risk. It's moving these parts around in their raw state is the issue. Because, you know, we scratch one of these things, it's coming back here, we're going to lose a week.
At the moment, the lead time's blown out to 2 years for new trucks, so that's where you got to come and find trucks like this.
At the yard, a potential buyer, Chris Henry, has arrived to inspect the K200 Kenworths.
Hey mate, I've got this this guy here ready to look at those carbovers. Where are you?
But with John looking after Magnum, Dollar Dave is running the sales office.
You just have to deal with them, sorry.
Yeah, okay.
All right, I've got to go, mate.
There's only one guy here's running the show. Me. Truck selling is not really my skill set. I am a bit happier sitting behind the desk taking care of business.
We do run remote work, and obviously 6-rod suits that really.
Mining supplier Chris has flown up from South Australia to inspect the trucks in person.
Come a long way to have a look at these things, mate, so it'd be pretty disappointing if we got here and couldn't go away with something.
And that's kind of how it is around here. John just disappears. And then he's just like, oh, Chris is here to look at the trucks. Can you go and talk to him? And I'm like, okay.
I mean, it's short haul, right? The one that this would be going on?
Yeah, yep.
It's all slow speed stuff, man. It's dirt work. You know, it's say, you know, 1,700k.
This isn't really my happy place talking trucks. Chris knows a fair bit about trucks, and I just like nod my head. When he asks me questions, I'm like, yeah, that sounds about right. Yep.
Trip, man, but it's all slow, right?
Yeah.
I'll just start it up, man. Yeah, you're right, big fella. When you see trucks like this, they don't sort of come along too often, so you got to sort of jump on them, right?
A new paint job has been agreed, eating into the firm's profit margin on the $710,000 asking price.
Sounding all right?
But any mechanical issues could put the deal into the red.
I think it's got a bearing that needs doing.
It was going so well.
But nothing drastic. I mean, they're pretty well what I expected, right? I mean, it's 2020.
Yeah,
so.
I know. Yeah, they're brand new pretty much, so.
Yeah. I'll contact the office.
Yeah.
And we'll get through a PO.
Yeah, okay. Just selling trucks, that's just how I roll here, you know? I'm doing all the work.
After their 2-week makeover, the K200 sold for $700,000, leaving the firm with a $20,000 profit on the fast turnaround job. But one question remains. Was the new paint job boom or bust?
Dave's trying to flex his muscles and educate me about painting trucks and the cost. So it's about us getting these standard trucks and turning them into stand-out trucks. And the easiest way to do that is paint them. And then the phone rings. When the phone rings, we sell more trucks. When we sell more trucks, we got more money. When we got more money, I can go buy more trucks. But I do understand that every job we have to cost and every job we have to make money.
So, do you want to paint every truck? Every truck that comes in here?
Not every truck gets painted. It's just the ones that need a bit of pizzazz.
Yeah, John is definitely the best at what he does, but that doesn't mean he's always right.
Ooh. Don't try that at home, kids.
With its $85,000 rehab nearing completion,
Looks pretty good, eh?
Dave Pansino can haul the Mac Magnum back to the firm's yard.
Oh, how we got that?
The final reassembly of the pristine truck will be handled by Marshall.
Back in black, baby. We can't afford any stuff-ups, you know. I don't even want to think about scratching the paint or anything like that. There's a lot of money at stake here, so, you know, you've just really got to be on your game. And so it begins. I'm just going to break it down into sections. Today, bonnet. I'll focus on that, and then, tomorrow, cab. Then the next day, sleeper. Hey, can you come and give us a hand with these badges, eh?
To assist with the rebuild, Marshall's called in the firm's workshop assistant.
Lift it out, King.
His son Isaiah.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the popular guy here because I do all the jobs the other blokes don't want to do.
Might be from the anodising, eh? The problem with these new badges and stuff like that, a lot of the stuff's reproduction parts, so they're not fitting quite right. So I'm just having a few issues at the moment with the speedy nuts. I just have to force them in. King's happy, look at him. Living the dream.
That's what I like about my dad, you know, he's out there, he's proud of who he is, he's proud of what he's done, and that's what I look up to, you know.
Beautiful.
Isaiah is completing his training under his dad's supervision.
Come on, son, stay focused.
But then some days he can be a real douche.
You know, if he wasn't my old boy, I'd actually have like a proper fight with him. The old elbow license is going to come out and he's just going to...
So all the side badges are on, the new grill denser. So now we're going to lift her on. Okay, keep going back. You're right. You're good. Do I need to come down? This bonnet's just come out of the booth. We can't afford any stuff-ups. This paint is so fresh. Starting to look like a truck. Woo! Very, very happy indeed. It's actually coming together really nicely.
Looks so good black. Looks really good. There's plenty of work to go. I think I'll be working back a few late nights myself too, to be honest. I don't expect these boys to do it all by themselves. So I'll be rolling the sleeves up, make sure we get it all done.
With the sleeper cab in place, even the Mac's original bumper has been painstakingly restored.
Poor old Sean, you know, there was 60 hours in refurbing that bumper bar because we couldn't get another one.
The finishing touch is to apply the Magnum's distinctive lettering, rechristening the rig as an iconic piece of trucking history.
To the final detail, the bottom of the stripes. Isn't that just a cool paint scheme? We've turned this truck into something that can only be described as a masterpiece. I love it from top to bottom. It's as cool as hell.
Finally, the legendary Mac Magnum's transformation is all but complete. The repainted and repaired truck has been reborn as a $500,000 landmark rig.
The Magnum's finished, and I'm happy to say that we're just a nickel over $80,000.
The truck's come up awesome too, so it just shows Jon can stick to a budget and still produce a beautiful truck.
You're not going to believe it, Jon Kelly, under budget. After this, there's a chance I could possibly grow hair.